What's up, everybody? My name is Noah. I am starting a YouTube channel because I define myself as transmasculine, and I want to just make myself visible and make transitioning visible. And I've watched a lot of the YouTube videos up till now when I was first realizing that I was trans, and the guys that I watched that had YouTube channels were really helpful. Listening to their stories and listening to their struggles and watching them transition throughout many videos was really helpful to me. And so I want to start a YouTube channel to talk about my experience and how things have been going for me and how I've been experienced and everything. So I thought maybe I would start off today with my coming out story, or more about how I realized that I wanted to transition. And so when I was 17, first of all, let me back up a little bit. When I was really little, I knew that there was something really different about me than all of my classmates, all the girls in my school, in my class. I didn't know what it was. I just knew that I didn't want to dress the way that they did, and I didn't want to go into the girls section when my mom was taking me to go clothes shopping and things. And as I got older, I started to understand sexuality a little bit and came out as a lesbian when I was 17. And I was like, okay, yeah, this makes sense. I date girls, I'm attracted to women. I am female, or I was born female, so that makes sense. And so for a while, it was okay. But I remember knowing when I was 17 about what the trans community was, and understanding that they were people that were born assigned a certain gender at birth and then transitioned to the other gender later in life. And I remember understanding that and going, oh my gosh, that's me. I belong in that group. But I didn't have the resources. When I was 17, it was early 2000s, so social media wasn't a thing yet. Facebook, Instagram, it just wasn't a visible thing that I understood, like the process. I couldn't watch people go through the process. My parents weren't really all that supportive. So I just kind of packed it away for a while. And it came back, the thoughts started to come back when I was in my early 20s. And I remember it was really depressing. I was really depressed for a while because I just felt like I was in the wrong body. I really just felt like, what I know now is dysphoria, but I didn't understand it then. I just knew that the parts that I was given when I was born weren't for me. I didn't connect with them and felt like a lot of things were missing. So that was in my early 20s, and then again, like, it got packed away because people around me weren't supportive. My parents didn't really understand what I was going through, and so they didn't know how to support me. So, and again, social media wasn't a thing yet, so it just wasn't a visible thing. So this was the theme, though. It just kept getting pushed back away. Thoughts would come back up a couple years later, and then I was like, no, I can't do this. It would be too big of a social change, too big of a life change, and I just wasn't capable of doing it. So fast forward to about 4 or 5 months ago, and it came back again. A coworker of mine looked at me randomly one day. We were in the middle of a conversation, and she was just like, "Can I call you he? I don't know, that's just the way that I see you." And I was like, oh fuck, like, here it is again. So I am in my early to mid 30s right now, and I just thought at that point, number one, these thoughts are not going away. They keep resurfacing. Number two, I really owe it to myself at this point in my life to be who I am, to be authentic, to find who I really am without, and stop trying to appease the rest of the world and make sense to everybody else. I need to make sense to me. And so I thought about it. I thought about it a lot, and almost as soon as I started thinking about it, I understood that, yeah, this is what I need to do. So I started talking to a therapist. I actually changed therapists, and so that process kind of took a little while. I started with one therapist, and then when I wanted to go change, I made another appointment, and they couldn't fit me in for another couple of weeks. So I went to a therapist, talked about gender dysphoria, and she diagnosed me with gender dysphoria after having listened to my story, and wrote me a letter. And after, actually, she didn't write me the letter initially. She told me after our second session that I could go and make an appointment with a physician who is familiar with doing HRT, and then once I had the appointment, then she would write the letter and I could go pick it up. So that happened. I made an appointment with an internist here in my city, and then she wrote me the letter. I picked it up, I brought it with me. You know, he was really, really welcoming and really supportive, and, you know, laid out all of the specifics of what was going to change once I started taking testosterone. You know, once you start putting this hormone in your body starts to change. And so he wanted to make sure that I knew what was going to happen. And then a week later, I went in for my first shot, and the MA, the medical assistant, gave me my first shot, and I've been doing it every week myself ever since. Today actually is going to be my 4th shot, so I'm officially 3 weeks on testosterone today. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of my coming out story. I hope to be posting some more videos in the near future. I want to be documenting my transition as I go along. I'm pretty early on right now, but I think my voice has already changed like a little bit, but not very much, and nothing huge major about my face or my body has changed. So I thought this was a really good time to start the YouTube channel. And yeah, I hope you guys keep watching. Thanks for watching if you've gotten this far, and I'll see you soon. Bye guys.